Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of Transfermarkt TV International. It's not at all really business as usual, not even in football, after the tragic death of one of the greatest sportsmen ever. Kobe Bryant died at the age of 41. He was one of 9 travelers, including his 13-year-old daughter Gianni, who crashed in a helicopter crash last Sunday near Calabasas in California. The basketball star, who won the NBA title 5 times during his stellar career and ranks number 4 on the NBA all-time scoring list, there was, of course, a shock worldwide. The former Los Angeles Lakers star leaves behind his wife and 3 daughters. As fans in front of the Lakers' home arena, the Staples Center, Los Angeles, and the global sports community mourn the loss of a great athlete, there are also many stars in football worldwide who paid their respect or expressed their sympathy and prayers for the Bryant family. For example, Neymar, after scoring both goals for Paris Saint-Germain in Sunday's 2-0 victory. At Lille, many others stated their thoughts via Twitter or Instagram, or like Real Madrid in their Monday training session, joined in a moment of silence. It's not quite easy to change the subject back to normality in worldwide football. We try to do it anyway. And first up is our category Focus. And once again, it is Erling Haaland who achieved something special. The 20 million euro winter signing for Borussia Dortmund continued his impressive start in Germany. In his second Bundesliga game, he again came off the bench, closed the door for visiting FC Cologne in Dortmund. The 19-year-old Norwegian scored 2 goals in just 25 minutes on the field, helping Borussia to comfortably win 5-1. Together with his hat-trick as a substitute in a 5-3 victory at Augsburg the weekend before in his Bundesliga debut, the central striker now has 5 goals in just 57 minutes on the field. Another record for the ages, since nobody before accomplished that many goals in the first 2 games in Germany's highest tier at such an early age. Stay tuned and find out if there's another record that Haaland might break in next week's game from Borussia Dortmund, a home game against Union Berlin. We'll talk about that next week. Now, the transfer window is closing on Friday, January the 31st, so there's not much time for the big or small transfers this winter. Let's take a look at the latest developments on loans or transfers that occurred. From Italy to England, it is for Inter Milano's Valentino Lazaro. The 23-year-old right midfielder joins Premier League side Newcastle United on loan until the end of the season. The Magpies also have a buyout option for the former Salzburg and Berlin player who joined the Nerazzurri last summer on a transfer fee of 22.4 million euros from Hertha BSC. He only saw limited action on the field, though, mainly as a substitute. The 28-time Austrian international hopes to kickstart his career again in Newcastle, the number 14 in the Premier League table. Elsewhere in England's top tier, Manchester United delighted fans and the team of Oldham Athletic. The Red Devils sent 22-year-old left-back Cameron Borthwick-Jackson on a loan deal for the remainder of the season to the League Two side. Oldham at the moment ranks 21st in England's 4th tier, only 2 spots above relegation to the amateur status. Leaving Bournemouth for good and staying with the Rangers for longer. That's the journey for former 3-line striker Jermaine Defoe. The 37-year-old striker already has been playing on loan for Glasgow since January 2019, very successfully in this campaign with 12 goals in 17 games in the Scottish Premiership. After his contract with his original team, Bournemouth, expires in summer, he will now stay another season with Steven Gerrard's Rangers on a permanent contract dating until June 2021. Former Premier League teams Fulham and Cardiff City agree on a deal involving Bobby de Cordova-Reid. The 26-year-old Jamaican international previously joined the Cottagers last summer on a loan deal. Now Fulham is said to have paid 10 million euros for permanent services of Reid. The offensive midfielder never lived up to the expectations in Cardiff after signing from Bristol in summer 2018 for 11.35 million euros. Now de Cordova-Reid is bound to Fulham until summer 2023. A little more security for promotion was announced in Leeds, where the Whites signed RB Leipzig's Jean-Kevin Augustin on a loan deal until the end of the season. The 22-year-old joined the German side in summer 2017 on a 16 million euro fee from Paris Saint-Germain. After scoring 20 goals in 67 competitive games for the Red Bulls, the French striker opted for a one-year loan deal to his native country with AS Monaco at the start of this season. Not satisfied with his status with the Ligue 1 side, Augustin asked to be released from Monaco and now joins Leeds. And this just in, Christian Eriksen leaves Tottenham for Inter Milano. The 27-year-old offensive midfielder from Denmark was one of our constant guests in the rumor mill, with mostly being linked to Barcelona, his personal favorite, or Real Madrid. Italy, it is now for Eriksen, whose contract at White Hart Lane would have expired in summer. His market value stands at 90 million euros. The creative Dane joined Tottenham in 2013 and recorded 305 games with 69 goals and 89 assists for the Spurs. His new contract with the Serie A side runs into June 2024. Inter will pay 20 million euros as a transfer fee. Apart from English teams being involved, there were other interesting and big deals in international football. The first one coming from the Bundesliga, where just mentioned RB Leipzig signed Spanish midfield jewel Dani Olmo from Dinamo Zagreb. Olmo started his career with Espanyol at the age of 9 with Barcelona's famous youth academy La Masia, before moving to Zagreb in 2014. One-time cap for Spain and immediately scoring in his first national team appearance, the 21-year-old was linked with a variety of teams in Europe. Due to their spectacular quick style of play, Olmo decided to join German league table leader RB Leipzig on a 20 million euro transfer fee. In Berlin, Hertha BSC also announced a new record signing in club history. French defense midfielder Lucas Toussaint will arrive in the German capital in summer. The 22-year-old was purchased by Hertha for 25 million euros and immediately loaned back to his actual club Olympique Lyon. French media reports that Toussaint is Berlin-bound until summer 2025. This new record deal for the number 13 in the German league table was once again made possible through a group of new investors that hope to revive Berlin to becoming a regular in European competitions. In Italy, AS Rome signed Brazilian prospect Roger Ibanez, a 21-year-old centre-back who plays the sixth position as well, from Serie A rival Atalanta Bergamo on loan for 1.5 years. The under-23 Seleção player only saw action in 19 minutes in one Champions League game this season with Atalanta and hopes to improve this output with Roma. After the loan deal in summer 2021, there might be a buyout obligation for Rome standing at 8 million euros if certain marks during his tenure with the Giallorossi are reached. And something a little exotic at the end. As his contract expires in summer, FC Sevilla's central midfielder Eva Banega will move on to Saudi Arabia. Hard to believe it's because of a better playing perspective, since the 31-year-old former Argentine international still is a regular for Julen Lopetegui's La Liga side. But other probably monetary reasons now saw Banega sign a 3-year deal with Al Shabab Riyadh, who currently ranks a strong number 9 in Saudi Arabia's first league. Again, with only 3 days left in this year's winter transfer period, there might be some big deals out there, but we give you an overview what happened so far. The top 5 of the most expensive deals to this point. Dani Olmo, as you heard, 21 years old, from Dinamo Zagreb to RB Leipzig for 20 million euros. This fee might go up due to bonuses to 35 million euros. At number 4, Norwegian striking sensation Erling Haaland for 20 million euros from Salzburg to Borussia Dortmund. Number 3, Lucas Toussaint, 22 years old, from Lyon to Hertha BSC. For 25 million euros, he will stay in Lyon on loan until summer. Then, number 2, Reinier, the 18-year-old from Flamengo to Real Madrid for 30 million euros. And number 1, Dejan Kulusevski, the 19-year-old from Atalanta to Juventus Torino for 35 million euros. At the moment, he's on loan with Parma and he will stay there until summer. Interestingly enough, 3 out of the top 5 transfers so far are from Bundesliga teams rather than from economically better situated Premier League teams, who are not at all listed in this top 5 category, at least so far. Not quite done, but very close to being are the following deals that we focus on now in our category Rumour Mill. Starting with Tottenham, who still is in search for a temporary replacement for England captain Harry Kane, or probably a possible later on squad reinforcement. After a lot of confusion almost mounting in a cancellation of talks between the two clubs involved, Bergwijn from PSV Eindhoven will now most certainly join the Spurs. The 9-time Dutch international so far scored 5 goals along with 10 assists in 16 Eredivisie matches. His contract in Eindhoven runs until June 2023. The striker jeopardized the deal by traveling to London and passing his medical check with the Spurs doctors last weekend. Unfortunately for the 22-year-old, who also plays at central striker position, this medical check wasn't agreed on by his team PSV. As Dutch newspapers reported, Eindhoven almost forfeited the deal, at least until summer, but Tottenham made an official approach that ultimately seems to calm the moods. 30 million euros with up to 2 million in bonuses is said to be the price tag for Bergwijn. Hard to believe anyway that he would return to PSV after this incident. And Premier League rival Manchester United is strongly pushing a winter deal with Sporting Lisbon's goal-scoring midfielder Bruno Fernandes. According to The Guardian, a first offer for the 25-year-old Portuguese international at 45 million euros was declined by the Liga NOS side, who thought in dimensions of rather 80 million euros for their best player. A deciding meeting to find a compromise is set to be scheduled this Friday, the last day in the winter transfer window. The Red Devils, however, as The Guardian has it, are not willing to pay more than 55 million euros for Bruno Fernandes. Bayern Munich has closed the gap to Bundesliga table leader Leipzig to 1 point last weekend. Now, if we believe reports from France Football, the German champion might close a gap that they have on the left wing position due to injuries. As the French newspaper has it, Munich is focusing on signing French World Cup champion Thomas Lemar from Atletico Madrid. The 24-year-old never really adapted to the Colchonero playing style since arriving from Monaco in summer 2018 for a tall 70 million euro transfer fee. In 15 La Liga games, he's without a score so far, and with his chances for a nomination for France's Euro 2020 squad slowly declining, he might want to sign for Bayern for some playing time. A little bit closer to being realized is Borussia Dortmund's wish for the services of German international defensive midfielder Emre Can from Juventus Torino. The former Liverpool player, who signed with Juve on a free transfer in summer 2018, was left out of this season's Champions League roster for new coach Maurizio Sarri, thus more than once expressing his will to search new opportunities. As German newspapers Bild and Ruhr-Zeitung report, the deal between the Italian champion and Dortmund is not done. Either a loan or permanent contract seems possible for the versatile Can. As you see in our graphic, Dortmund has worries on the right back side. He could also replace Achraf Hakimi if he decides to leave for Real Madrid, or Lukas Piszczek, who has come to an older age on the right back position. And of course, Can being a defensive midfielder, he could be a very good option for Borussia Dortmund. Either way, Dortmund could need the 26-year-old whose market value stands now at 30 million euros. Elsewhere, FC Barcelona is still in need for a replacement for injured Uruguayan striker Luis Suarez. Spanish media sees a strong Barca pursuit for a signing of outstanding AS Monaco central striker Wissam Ben Yedder. The 29-year-old French international just came into Monaco on a 40 million euro transfer deal from Spanish La Liga side Sevilla last summer. For his new team Monaco, that doesn't compete on international levels this season, he has scored 14 goals along with 7 assists in just 19 Ligue 1 games. Barca is said to be willing to pay 80 million euros for Ben Yedder, while his Monaco manager Robert Moreno wants at least 200 million. And that's it for this week's edition of Transfermarkt TV International. Remember, the winter transfer period window is closing in 3 days, so it's going to be interesting to see us next week when we have all the newest deals for you in our next episode of Transfermarkt TV International. Have a good one. Bye-bye.